Topic of design flow is functional design. So functional design is the next stage of design flow. It allows the designer to develop a behavioral model of the component. So behavioral model is nothing but it allows us to understand the behavior of the system. So expressing its functionality at an intermediate level of abstraction between the system level and register transfer level. The level of abstraction is nothing but the amount of complexity in the system. So that complexity should be between the range of system level and register transfer level, where system level is nothing but high level complexity, register transfer level is nothing but low level complexity. So it should be in between these two. So now the purpose of behavioral model is it allows the function verification of the component before it is proceeding to the detailed implementation. So before implementing, we need to check the functionality of the design which is need to be implemented. So once the functionality is verified, the same test benches can be used with the detailed implementation models to verify them under the same test cases. Nothing but here, once it is implemented as a product, that input test cases which are used in the test bench, the same input cases are used for the implemented design also. In order to implement the functionality of a design in a given component, so we can take several approaches which are as follows. So one approach is to design a new implementation by refining the higher level model using design techniques. So design techniques are nothing but different kinds of languages. So like hardware description language, object oriented languages. So such languages are used to implement the functionality of a design. Second approach is to reuse a component from the previous system, from a library of components or from component vendor. Means, so we can use a reuse of component. Means here there are some group of instructions which are designed to perform particular task. We call them as libraries. So those libraries can be used to implement the functionality of a design. So here, if suitable reusable components is available, okay, we often use the term intellectual property. In short, we call it as IP. So you can use these intellectual properties, which are the standard libraries, to build the functionality of the design. So here the benefits of using such intellectual property are: the first thing, here it will save the design time. Second, it will use or save the effort in verification. So even if an IP block does not exactly meet the requirements for our system, we may be able to adapt it with less effort than would be required for a fresh start. So instead of starting with a scratch, we can just alter the intellectual properties based on the requirements and the constraints, and we can use these intellectual properties to build our design functionality. So another approach for implementing the component may be to use a core generator, so which is a EDA tool that generates the model of a component. So here core generators are nothing but they are similar to the standard libraries, but for the larger functions. So the functions which included in the core generator are so like memories, arithmetic units, bus interfaces, digital signal processing, finite state machines. So many more are there, where these kind of large libraries can be adapted to the functional or the functionality of the design to design the functionality or to design the module which is given by the client according to the requirements and constraints. So this is about the functional design of a system. Thank you.